it's me. I was wondering if you were gonna come back and listen to UnPerfect with Alexi on Apple or Spotify. Hell, you can even watch YouTube. Welcome back to UnPerfect with Alexi. This is the perfect place for unperfect people. I hope you loved my song. I'm a songstress. A fun fact about me, all of my friends will tell you that I can pick out a song for literally any word that you give me, almost. Do not put me on stage and make me do that. I would have stage fright. But it's a known fact that I am someone who sings a lot in life in general. Like, I'm singing words constantly, and it's just fun. Why not? If it bothers you that I sing, then I would try to do things to have more fun in life. But today I wanted to do something a little bit different that I don't think I've ever done this on the podcast, and that is do a little Q&A. So I polled my Instagram audience, answer the questions that they have. And honestly, guys, the fact that you even want to hear about my life more just blows my mind, because I kind of grew up under the belief that I just wasn't interesting, wasn't valuable, wasn't worthy, just nothing I could do was right. So the fact that I have my sister squad here, you guys are interested and invested in my life, you want to hear things, you want to learn things, it just makes me feel so valued, lovable, worthy. So thank you for being here. It is 4 p.m. on Tuesday, the day I'm supposed to drop this podcast. I'm a procrastinator, but I also am a one-woman show. So that's going to be the grace I give myself. So let's dive right on it. First question is, what is my love story? I have been married for 6 years to my husband, Riley. It was crazy because I literally just liked a picture of his on Facebook. We had been friends since I was a freshman. Then he messaged me after I liked a picture of him with his hunting buddies. And my messages were so fucking cringe. I have to read them to you guys. It is embarrassing. Life's only fun if you can make fun of yourself. November 1st, 2014. Riley messages me and says, "Hey, how are you?" Trying to play it cool. I'm like, "I'm good. How are you?" And he said, "That's good. I'm not too bad. So what have you been up to?" And I said, "I've just been working and in school. Not too much different. Haha, what about you?" He said, "Well, good for you. Smiley face. Got any plans for this weekend? I've just been working also." Here's the fucking cringe part. Here's where I think I am the coolest cat in the entire world. Every time I read this, I almost tear up and cry. My face goes white. "Well, tonight I'm just polishing off my fifth, and tomorrow I will do homework for most of the day." Polishing off my fifth? Who the fuck do I think I am? I'm like 18 years old at this time. So exciting, I know. "Are you still at the same job?" And then he says, "Right on. Yeah, I'm still here, but I don't think for long. How has school been going?" And I'm like, "Will you just text me?" And then I gave him my number, and the rest was history from there. Our first date, we went on this drive in Western Washington called the Mountain Loop Highway. So you go all the way from this little logging town of Granite Falls, which, fun fact, the Rolling Stones once coined as the meth capital of USA in the 90s. You go all the way through to Darrington, and then all the way back through Arlington around. So it's like this giant loop, but you see some of the most beautiful sights there. But we were doing it in the pitch black. I'm like, that kind of seems scary in November, especially because that highway shuts down in the winter because the roads are too snowy. But for some reason we did it, and it was so much fun. Fun fact, I love driving around. Like, I have no qualms about driving anywhere, but he drove me and I was passenger princess, and he offered me a Coors Light, and I was trying to be cool and be like, "Yeah, let me just drink that. Yuck, I don't like beer." We never separated from that, and we ended up getting married in September of 2017, and then he got deathly ill on our honeymoon. That is a story for a different time, but that is the story of our love. Next question. What foundation are you using? My skin is sensitive. I use the Say Glowy foundation. I don't know exactly what it's called. I don't have it on me, but I'll put a picture of it right here. I love this stuff, but I don't know if it is safe for sensitive skin. And to be honest with you guys, I feel like I'm not really the best with like recommendations for skincare and whatnot, because I'm a little bit naughty girl and I don't look for the pore cloggers in them, because I wear makeup like maybe once or twice a week if I'm feeling very inspired. But overall, I just do my skincare and call it a day. Question number 3. A time you felt that your skin was never going to get better. How did you get out of that? I love this question because you guys all saw it and you watched it unfold publicly if you followed me on TikTok. To give you guys a little context, in summer of 2021 to summer 2022, I was using Face Reality exclusively. I was going to McKinley every single month and getting acne peels. I was using Face Reality's home care routine. And then my skin cleared up, and I was like, well, now that it's clear, I'll take it from here. I just want to save $1. I don't want to have to go pay for the esthetician or the products or whatever, and my skin's clear now. Then I started doing the viral skin cycling and just kind of like doing it all by myself, which was so overwhelming and stressful and expensive. And then I dermaplaned my face with one of those one-time use dirty dermaplane things, but I had used mine multiple times and never like thoroughly washed it. Would not recommend. And my face broke out in a literal beard of acne. Looking back, I probably had some wild infection, but I refused to take antibiotics.
Hi, I'm Elijah. I'm 2, and then I gotta go. So bye. Bye.
After what happened to my husband with antibiotics, I was like, I am not taking antibiotics. And anyway, it is my firm belief that acne is a symptom to an internal issue. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take matters into my own hands really and get to the root of this. And by the time I started using Face Reality again, like my skin had made such a drastic difference. And that was just by doing internal things like cleaning up my eating, cutting out inflammatories, increasing my water, exercise, de-stressing my life. There were so many things. And I'm so grateful that I took that holistic route instead of just getting on Accutane or just getting on doxycycline or minocycline or tetracycline or spironolactone or like just doing these things just to get rid of my acne, because that's what society wanted me to do. But I took that opportunity when I broke out as bad as I did to be like, okay, what can I learn about myself? And that was the most rewarding experience ever, because truthfully, I feel like people don't really know themselves. Like we depend on doctors and nurses and people who are the professionals to tell us more about ourselves than we even know about ourselves. But if you think about it, your doctor, your dermatologist doesn't know you more than you know you, because all they know is what you tell them. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this rigmarole with dermatologists anymore. I've already done the Accutane route. It was not good for me. I've tried every antibiotic, did spironolactone. My anxiety heightened. I was just like, you know what? This is an opportunity for me to just do something for myself. And the time investment that I spent definitely paid off. Question number 4. What is my favorite skincare product? Honestly, right now, it's this Bright Eyes cream from Ren Skincare. It makes my under eyes so much brighter. Like if you are watching the video right now, I used to have dark circles around my eyes, but I use this eye cream every single morning and it helps with my eyes so much. Yes, they sent it to me for free as a sample, but I tried it. Wow! I tried it and I love it. Question number 5. How can you resist picking? Well, let's start with the truth. Sometimes I still do pick. And honestly, it's a really hard habit to break. It's not impossible, but it is habitual. So first things first, you need to bring awareness to when you're picking. That means even not being in a mirror and just grazing your face or touching your face or just scratching things on your face. That is picking. And a lot of that is unconscious because we do it for so long that we don't even realize we're doing it. So first things first, take a sip of that awareness and let it sink in and know that it's okay. And with awareness is where we can bring change. My top recommendation for people who struggle with picking their acne, number 1, ice. If you can do something to touch it, just ice it. It'll make it feel better. It'll help the inflammation go down. It'll help resist the urge because you're actually like almost touching it, but not really. Second, I would get a pimple patch. Pimple patches are nice because you can lay something on your breakout and then you can touch the top of the pimple patch. And it's just that barrier reminder that like, let's not touch our zit. It's a helpful little reminder for you and your skin that we're not going to touch this anymore. We're not going to pick this. But also I'd recommend a spot treatment if you're not somebody who likes pimple patches or you have a cyst. I was once told by Dakota Tyreen, she's an esthetician who I love and respect, that if you have a cyst, you should not put pimple patches on them because pimple patches aren't designed to absorb the fluid of a cyst. So if you have a cyst or some kind of breakout or you just don't have pimple patches, use some kind of spot treatment. I really like Face Reality's sulfur spot treatment. I put it on there and I feel like it dries the spot or just puts like this protective layer over the spot, and it definitely helps them go down in size quickly. But also, if you find yourself picking, stop yourself right then and there. Don't be like, well, I've already started, so I might as well finish. No, we are breaking habits. We are breaking patterns. And today is not going to be the day that you're going to continue. You're not going to start tomorrow. You're going to start right now. And the more that you can flex that muscle of self-control, the better off you will be in your life in general. Trust me. I'm loving these acne questions you guys are giving me. Question number 6. Have you tried microneedling for scars? I have tried microneedling. I have tried microneedling for scarring and I do love it. And I will be starting next month doing it again. Now that my skin is at a place where I can actually microneedle, I definitely will be doing that. So I have an appointment scheduled for mid-December for that. So stay tuned because I'm definitely bringing you guys along the way. Number 7, what is your favorite Christmas song? Know the song in Catch Me If You Can when he runs back home to his mom's house and he sees that little girl, not realizing that's his little sister, and his mom's remarried to his dad's old business partner or whatever. And then the song comes on and he gets arrested. That song, the Christmas song. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child... Whatever, I don't know the rest of it. But it's called the Christmas song, and that's my favorite Christmas song. Question number 8. Have you started the Face Reality vitamins? If so, thoughts? I have started them, and I do like them. I feel like with supplements, it's such more of like a subtle change, but what I have noticed so far is that I feel like my face in general, my complexion is quite a bit brighter, and when I do get breakouts, ignore this one. This is like a hormonal, I'm about to start my period rage bitch breakout, but overall, my skin is a lot less red. So that's very nice. Question number 8. What are ways your husband makes you feel confident in your skin? My husband, honestly, the best thing about him is he is like, I love you no matter what you look like. Been married for 6 years. This is grandma's ring. Isn't it pretty? And my husband never once has made me feel like I need to get rid of my acne. If anything, he is so supportive. He's like, what can I do? Like when my breakouts are at my worst, he just wants to be there for me. And he always tells me I'm beautiful and supports me and loves me. And honestly, that is so much more than I could ask for, because what's funny is people on the internet try to tell me that I need to look a certain way for my husband when my husband loves me just as I am right now, whether I have breakouts or I don't. So it's very peculiar to me. I will never forget this one hate comment that I got where this chick was like, if she was single, she'd be struggling for real. And I'm like, if you judge people based off their appearances, that says so much more about you than it does about them. That's why when people comment about my skin and they're like, well, you're going to scar, and they like try to use my scarring or my acne against me, I'm like, you can kindly go fuck off, because I genuinely do not give a fuck what you think about my skin, because I am perfectly content and happy in my life and my relationship. And the people who love me the most, my skin matters the least to them. So just remember that. Also, if you're single right now and you are struggling with acne, the right person who will love you for you will come along. The right person who is going to love you through your acne will be there for you. That the right person isn't even going to see your acne. Not literally, but figuratively, because your skin is just a tiny, tiny percentage of who you are. Could you imagine if your liver was only functioning at 90% and then society judged you and was like, well, you're only 90% worthy right now because your liver's only functioning at 90%. Like, your skin's a fucking organ, and acne should only affect the person that has it. If you have anybody who gives you flack for what your face or your skin looks like, just move along. They are not for you. I promise you. Question number 9. How to balance being mom, household, and working? Asking for a friend. This question kind of trips me up because I feel like I don't have my shit figured out as well as I could. But what I've started working on and implementing that actually has created some positive change in my life is, number 1, having a routine. That started by me doing my skincare morning and evening, but now I have more extensive morning and evening routines because it helps me feel more put together. Not today. I procrastinated all day today, but most days. Having that routine helps so much. Honestly, I feel like most humans thrive off routine. Like, yes, we can do some things on a whim and like shoot it from the hip, but if you do that all the time, it's just kind of overwhelming, especially if you have like an ADHD brain like I do. I have to have that routine. But also, pre-planning things ahead of time, like meal prepping ingredients. That doesn't mean like putting together full meals, but like prep some ground beef, prep some fish, prep some steak, some vegetables, prep some rice, like prep some things that can help you eat healthy and actually nourish your body ahead of time, because when you put everything together, it is so overwhelming and exhausting and it's overstimulating. But then the third piece of advice that I would give you when it comes to balancing everything is prioritize your self-care. So when I say I have a routine every night, that is my self-care routine. And I feel so much better when I take care of myself. But having that time at the end of the day where I can just rest and relax, nobody bother me. This is time for myself. I'm going to go inward and retreat and just fill my cup back up because that's the best way I do it. I'm an introverted extrovert. Like I can be very extroverted and do all this and talk to you guys and haha, hee hee, ho hos. But then guess what? If I do that for too long, I'm going to be like dead to the world. My friends know I'm a horrible texter. That's another hard thing about working on social media is like I have to put content out for my job, but then sometimes my social life suffers for it because I'm like, okay, I have to put content out so people see me active and they're like, well, why haven't you responded to my text? I'm like, because I don't have the mental capacity anymore. So that's something I'm working on too, guys. If you haven't heard back from me, it's nothing against you. It's a me problem. That's the best advice I can give you for right now. It's going to look different to every single person, but you have to find the right balance for you that works, that helps you feel fulfilled, that helps you go all in all areas of your life that are important to you. Those are just things that help me. Final question. I love this one. And it is, how is sober going? I do not regret my decision at all, one bit. Quitting alcohol has been the best decision that I have made in my entire life. I just feel like I have so much more control of my life now and that I don't live for the weekend anymore and that I can do things that I truly enjoy and that truly fulfill me. Honestly, my biggest disappointment with alcohol is just how much time I wasted with it. Time wasted, get it? I gave the example in the last podcast, which I think it's worth repeating right now. Like for my last 2 birthdays, I've wanted to go hiking and then go whale watching because I live in the Pacific Northwest. The Puget Sound is right there. I've never seen a whale before. Whales fascinate me. Love the ocean. Used to want to be a marine biologist. But then I ended up going to the bar and bar hopping and just drinking. And I just felt like I wasted my day. And that really disappointed me because I wanted to do so much more with my life. I wanted to see so much more things. But instead, I drowned myself with liquor, and then I was passed out by 6 p.m. because I was so freaking exhausted from drinking all day. So it's just been nice to have this new lease on life. And honestly, what's been really, really, really cool is how many people have reached out to me and been like, you inspired me, or, you know, I've been thinking about quitting drinking. Like, what kind of tips do you have? Like, those types of things just light my fire because it helps me remember that nothing goes in vain. Like the embarrassment that I caused myself when I was on this brand trip and I got too wasted. Go listen to Itty and Idiot, take Palm Beach, Florida for the whole freaking story of that. But it's just, it really embarrassed me. And it was like, okay, I'm done. And this is no longer who I want to be. And I think just making that choice gave me a layer of confidence back because I've been thinking about quitting alcohol for so long and I just kept putting it off and kept putting it off and kept putting it off. And now that I actually did it, it just feels so much more fulfilling and like I actually accomplished a goal. But also, if you are someone struggling with alcohol or you've been thinking about quitting, or maybe you're sober curious in general, you're wondering what that looks like, it has to come from within you that you want to stop. Because I can give you every tip in the world of replace your nightly wine glass with a nice like kava relaxing tea of some sort, or get a tonic water with lemon and lime at the bar instead, or a soda water with lemon and lime. Yes, there's all these options, but if you're actually going to quit drinking and you actually want to live this like sober life, which is okay. The sober life is so interesting to me. Why is it weird if somebody doesn't drink, but why is it okay if somebody binge drinks all the time and is like borderline alcoholic? Why wouldn't we call them a drunk? The decision to be sober has to come from within you, and if you're anything like me, you have to tell people about it because then they kind of hold you accountable. Like if I made this whole ass podcast about I quit drinking and then next week I'm at the bar taking shots, you're like, what the fuck? You know, so you kind of put this like pressure on yourself to continue the path and stay the course. And honestly, you just have to decide that you're sick of your own shit. That's what happened to me. I decided that I was sick of my own shit and I just had to do the thing that I've been thinking about for months, for years. Like I've been wanting to cut back on alcohol for so long and I just kept being in this cycle and repeating myself and embarrassing myself and feeling like shit for 3 days after and fucking up my liver and my skin. And I mean, alcohol has 0 health benefits. 0. But 1 glass of wine a night is good for the heart. So is fucking walking, and walking is free and it doesn't affect your liver. Like now that I'm sober, seeing the way that society and culture pushes people to be numb and dumb is just like, it literally blows my mind. That's not to say I'm never going to have a drink again, but it's just, I'm kind of having an awakening right now and I'm passionate about this topic. That doesn't probably help with my like blunt unfilteredness, but this is the UnPerfect podcast. I'm just kind of word vomiting my thoughts because I've procrastinated all day and I need to get this podcast out for you guys. I love you. I don't judge anybody for where they are in their journey because everybody's life is different. The way you see the world is different than the way I see the world, and that's because we all grew up with a different lens that was created around us. The way that our parents spoke to us, our environment, our socioeconomic status, our religion, everything that we went through up until where we are right now has shaped the lens that we see the world through. So if you're not ready to quit drinking, or maybe you don't even want to, then that is fine. That is your life, and it's your life to live. And this is my life to live. The decision to become sober was my decision and my decision only. It was for me and me only. It wasn't to prove anybody else wrong or to make anybody else feel bad. I just wanted to feel better in my life, and alcohol was getting in the way of my goals. And that's all there is to it. If you've been sober, or maybe you're sober curious, or you recently quit drinking, or you still drink, I see you in your journey, and your life is yours to live, and I will support you in any way that you need me to. I love you guys. You guys are my sisters. You have helped me so much in just the last year. Like, you guys have truly changed my life, and I appreciate you for that so much. Thank you guys for playing 10 questions with me. This was such a fun episode, and I want to do this again. So if you're listening on Spotify, make sure to drop your questions in the little box right here. Next time I do this, I'll make sure to answer them. And then follow me on Instagram so you don't miss the polls I have from my Ask Me Literally Anythings. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple, make sure to subscribe to this and leave 5 stars. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and then leave a like on this video while you're there, would ya? I appreciate it so much. And also, as always, can you guys send me some DMs or comments with some feedback on this podcast episode? I love hearing it, and I love sharing your thoughts with I need to go to bed. I love sharing your guys' thoughts about these episodes with my audience. So any feedback or episode ideas or anything, you guys make this job so much fun. Thank you for allowing me to do it and listening and just being here. I appreciate it so much. I love you guys, and I will see you next Tuesday, sisters. Bye.